Hello everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie and welcome back to my channel. A little bit of a different view to start off today. So today's video is going to be pretty long, pretty chatty. And I had asked in a previous video if folks would like to see me sort of going through my books and choosing some fall, autumn, Halloween pages. And I've never done a plans video before, but folks said they would like it, so why not? Thought I would this is my view out my window. Fall is coming. It is currently September 14th right now. I'm going to put this out on September 17th. September 17th is actually the 1 year anniversary of my channel. You see my screensaver fall there in front of me. Yeah, so it's been quite a year. It's been an interesting year. I've learned a lot. I have so much more to learn, but so hopefully this will go out on the 1 year anniversary of my very first video on this channel. I thought that I would show you, I'm just going to back up, hopefully I won't make anyone too ill here. Hopefully the lighting on my camera adjusts. I'm just going to stand up. I had filmed, it was like 45 minutes of video of me sort of going through and picking out books. So I've got some coloring books up there. That is mostly my Japanese and Korean books up there. And then I will just slowly swing around here. You guys can see my little setup here. This is where I work as well. There is this stack of books that we're gonna go through. Now I also chose books from here. So there's some of my Joanna Basford books, Rita Berman, Melpomene, Chatsupani Goto books. There's some other books up there. That shelf there has quite a lot of Amazon print books, not all, but it also has some of my sort of strictly seasonal books. So I did choose some books from there. There's a little bit of overflow down there where I've got just shorter books, little books. And then I'm going to have a cup here. Again, swing slowly, try not to make you too ill. And then this shelf, we can see the books are all collapsed down now. This has my, quite a lot of my overseas books, but not Japanese and Korean, like books from the Netherlands or my Hannah Carlson are in here, my Maria Trolla, books from the UK, books from Amazon France. So lots of those are in there. That's my little stack there. You can see jewelry box there. That's where I put my completed pages for the month. I just make a little stack of books there. But there's my mascots for my chemistry teaching. Of course, that's Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker from the Muppets. And then the two little ones there, that's Chemistry Mole and Avogadro. And if you know anything about chemistry, you'll know why one of them is a mole, even though it looks like a hedgehog. If you Google mole chemistry, you can find out why. But yeah, just swing back around here. I was saying, so I had like 45 minutes of footage of me pulling books, and I was holding my phone, which I'm doing right now, but it was so jerky and it was making me ill editing it, so I'm not going to use that footage. So hopefully this brief intro here doesn't make anyone ill. I will now switch to a top-down view, and we will basically just go through this ginormous stack of books next to me. I've got some tabs here, and we'll see if we can pick some books for fall, autumn, Halloween. I will probably pick some pages. I will pick way more pages than I could ever hope to finish, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of it, isn't it? All right, so let's go top-down view. Forgot to mention, I have my tea here, ready for my look through the fall, autumn books in my fall mug. This is a set of 4 fall mugs that I got, oh my gosh, ages and ages ago. I think before even my daughter was born, and she's 24 now. So it was like a Hallmark store, which we have here in Canada and the US. If we still do, I don't even know if they still exist. But yeah, it was a set of 4. Maybe I'll insert a picture of the set here. It's just, I love this set of mugs. So there's my tea. It actually is, that's the tea that's in there. So this is Yorkshire tea. I love this tea. You can get some of it in Canada, but I think this multi-biscuit one, so it tastes like tea and biscuits, which in the UK that's cookies, right? I think I stuck this on an order that I placed for coloring stuff from Amazon UK, and I just stuck this box tea on there. And it's really, I don't have it very often, but it does kind of taste like tea, and not sort of American cookies, like not like chocolate chip cookies or anything, but more like, oh, what would we call them here? Plain cookies. I want to say tea biscuits, but that's not right either. Oh, so one of you will help me out in the comments, I'm sure. But it's, I mean, we do have these kinds of digestive biscuits. I think maybe that's what we call them here in Canada and in the US. So that's, it's like if you were dipping those in tea. That's kind of what this tastes like. But yes, there's my tea, ready for my look through the books. In a way, I'm kind of cheating a bit because I'm trying to pretend that it's, you know, all sweater weather outside. Really, I think it's like 85 outside right now. Fahrenheit, it's like 30 Celsius. It's still way too hot for me. So I'm just gonna have my tea and pretend that it's fall outside. I do have central air, so it's kind of easy for me to do that. But, all right, so you've had a look around my area. You know the shelves that I pulled from. You've had a look at my tea. Let's take a look at the books. All right, let's see if we can find some fall, autumn, Halloween pages to color. The very first book I wanted to look at is brand new, and I'm sorry for the glare there. This was sent to me by the very lovely Karen E. Myers, and this is her brand new book, The Mystical Lands of Klynnadra, Autumn's Magic, and this is book 3 in the Klynnadra series. And I mean, the cover just obviously, I mean, screams, you know, autumn and fall and spookiness and Halloween. And I love Karen's style. It's very folk arty. It's very, yeah, I love it. So these are the different realms that she has. She's got the Mystical Lands of, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing these, Karen, Uchana series, books 1, 2, and 3. The Mystical Lands of Kelswitch series, books 1, 2, and 3. Klynnadra, books 1, 2, and 3. Mystical Lands Christmas series 1, 2, and 3. Mystical Lands Chronicles 1 and 2. And then she's got a novella, A Quest of Shards and Secrets, and it's a novella inspired by Mystical Lands. I don't have all of her books, but I do have, I'm going to say half a dozen, I think. And I have done some coloring in them. So, you know what? Let's take a look. So here we've got the book belongs to page. And quite often she's got a map in the front. So this, of course, is the Mystical Land of Klynnadra. There's the title page, hand-drawn pen and ink illustrations. And, you know, in this day and age of AI and all of the stuff that surrounds that, you know, training the AI on images taken from the internet where they didn't have the permission of the illustrators and all that stuff. I prefer to steer away from AI if I can. So the fact that Karen draws these herself, I mean, that's just lovely. Hello, Mysticals. Welcome to the third book of the Mystical Lands of Klynnadra series entitled Autumn's Magic. As the leaves change and the air turns crisp, a mystical energy fills the realm. The veil between our world and the Enchanted One is at its thinnest during this time. Let the vibrant colors of autumn inspire your imagination as you embark on a coloring journey through this enchanted secret world. May this coloring book fill your heart with joy and bring you into the wondrous world of autumn's magic. Happy coloring. Lovely. So there's your test page. You can experiment with color palettes. You can experiment with different media. Now, this is this is Amazon print paper, and this one was sent to me. It was printed in Moni, Illinois, so it was actually sent to me from U.S. Amazon, not Canadian Amazon. So it's got the U.S. Amazon paper, which I know is probably, I've done a test in a previous video, and I'll try and remember to link that below if I remember, where I tested Amazon paper from the US, Canada, the UK, Germany, and Japan. And the US did come out in the bottom. It's some of the worst Amazon. And I know that there's even a difference between, places, because there's a variety of places, whether it be in Canada or the US, where your Amazon books are printed. And yeah. So, but I've got another video that I'm planning. I've got some ideas on, I don't know, ways to make Amazon print paper work better for me. I know that if I get the Canadian Amazon, the print is much blacker. So Karen, of course, has 2 sets of images in each book. So there's the second set. So we've got Ancient Oaks Academy. She's always got her illustrations titled, and they often go in alphabetical order. So we've got Ancient Oaks Academy there, Autumn Ridge Acres. I mean, I know it's supposed to be choosing pages, but I just wanted to do a quick flip through of the pages here. Oh my goodness, I could choose any of these. Blazing Baron's Fireside, Bumble's Abode, Camp Equinox, Faye's Friends and Flowers, Friendly Forest Sprite, Fuzzcap Fungi Friends, Gnomely Villas, Heidi's Hideaway, Mouse, Ivy Petal Spice, Jingle Bar's Journey, Moonstone Manor, Mystic Lantern Light, Oliver the Wise, Pumpkin Spice Factory. The apple looks very concerned that it's heading in there, so does the pumpkin. I guess I would be concerned too if I was going to be chewed up into pumpkin spice. Ravenfrost Hideaway. Oh, you know what? That might be the one. Okay, we'll remember that. Ravenfrost Hideaway, and then we'll maybe come back. Rimbit and Rumbit. 2 little dwarves? Gnomes? I don't know the difference. Sorry. Shadowwood Chateau. Some of these are much heavier on the line work than others. Just the shading and it's not really grayscale. Just heavier line work, I guess. Or more detailed, more intricate line work, which just makes, gives an overall, which is kind of, if you want to do your own shading, that can be tougher. But if you did flat coloring with markers on these, then of course they're all single-sided, a lot of that actually does the shadowing and highlighting for you, right? You can see she's got sort of more heavier line work on this side of the roof than this side. So I'm assuming the light source is coming this way. Same thing here, right? Heavier there, lighter there. heavier on the tree on this side, lighter on the tree on this side. So she's helping you basically, right, to get shadows and highlights. Sir Pumpkin's Place. Solent Stumphouse. Sunnyvale Acorn. Tipsy Pumpkin Pub. Wellspring Cottage. Whisper Wood Path. And then we're back to the start. So you've got 2 copies of the images. So, do you remember which one I said? I forget. Started with an R, didn't it? Ravenfrost Hideaway. That was the one. So I think I'm going to do that one. And with her images, she's always got this sort of Celtic knot, I think that's what it's called, pattern that runs around the edge. It just provides a nice frame, so you don't have to color right to the edge, you know, like you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to get into the spine of the book, because the border just really delineates that for you. All right, so let's stick a sticky on there. That might be our first page. So yeah, this is the Mystical Lands of Klynnadra. It just came out September 1st, I think, and I just got mine a few days ago. A very, very lovely book. I can give you the ISBN there. It's really easy to find on Amazon, though, I would think. Yeah. So, Kieran E. Meyers, Mystical Lands of Klynnadra, Book 3, Autumn's Magic. Very fun. Thank you very much, Kieran. I'm going to enjoy coloring in that one. I also have some whips that I pulled. So these are autumn themed whips that I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull these. We'll see if I get any more work done on them. These are from last year. Oh my goodness, maybe even the year before. But yeah, I just thought, you know, before we dive into brand new pages, I would take a look at some of these whips. Sorry, take a quick break there and sneeze. The goldenrod is in full bloom out here in the rural part of central Canada. So this is, of course, the lovely Japanese illustrator. Oh my goodness, I'm going to forget, aren't I? Nukamori? I think that's the illustrator. And I think it's called Fantasy Towns. I think. But, you know, this is an older book. We've all seen this before. This, of course, is the book where my lab page comes from. The one that's my little, what do you call it? I want to say avatar, but that's not right. Just basically on the front page of my web YouTube channel. I mean, that's the image that's there, kind of cropped down, right? I had so much fun coloring this. Oh my goodness, I had fun. And I do have, well, I actually have 2 whips in here, but one of them is this one. And I mean, this one I think is definitely kind of autumn themed. I started this, so I based, you know, a fair amount of the wall background with alcohol marker. These are one-sided. The book is one-sided. There's a little description on the left that talks about the image that's on the right. But, I mean, if you don't mind losing that description, then you're okay to use alcohol marker. And I started doing a little bit of work, if I remember correctly, with distress inks to kind of make almost like a mottled look to the alcohol marker that I had laid down for the wall space. So almost like it was like an old kind of plaster and then painted, so it's kind of almost mottled looking. And I think, oh, it was a long time ago, if I remember correctly, I think all of the wall stuff was done. I think. I'm just trying to look here. And then all of the smaller details, I did start, you know, like the wood you see here and everything. That's all Pitt pens, because this was started before the Stettler pens came out. So now I should be able to go back in and do all of these little fine details with a combination of Pitt pens and Stettler pens. So I'm looking forward to that. Seeing what I can get done with that. Yeah, maybe this. I think I will. Like I say, I've never really made plans videos. I've only just ever, I don't know, kind of flown by the seat of my pants, and I just sort of grab things in color. So I can't guarantee that any of the images that I choose in this video will end up colored, but I think this one may, or I at least might try and get some more work done on it. But yeah, so that's an autumn whip that I have. Ooh, sort of Halloween autumn. So there's that one. Another whip that I have, pretty sure I started this last year. So this is Jen Katz. Autumn is my favorite color. I don't think you can find this on Amazon. I think you have to go to her Etsy shop to purchase this, because I'd show you an ISBN, but I can't. There isn't one. And I've done a flip through of these books on my channel. I can try and remember to link that one below as well. But this is the whip I have. And it's funny. It looks like it's almost entirely done, but there's a lot more work I need to do. There's a lot of kind of brass metal work, and I started it last year, and I don't like it. Like this here, and it was before I sort of learned how to do kind of metal effects with Pitt pens. Don't know how I'm going to rescue those. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so there's a lot of just detailing and what have you that needs to be done on here. But it's certainly a fun page. Lots of lab equipment. For those of you that don't know, I'm a chemistry teacher. That's my day job. So yeah, I think this is one that I definitely want to try and work on this fall as well. I don't know if it's, I mean, I guess, is it fall? Is it Halloween? I mean, there's a candy cane, but it just felt maybe kind of mad scientist laboratory how to feel, you know? Maybe that's why I was thinking it was kind of autumn, Halloween. I don't know, but, and it is in the book, Autumn is my favorite color. So maybe that was part of it too. There's another whip that I might work on. This is, oh my gosh, I don't even remember when I started this. It has to be more than a year. I'm thinking like 2 years ago. When did this book come out? 2021. I think it was 2 years ago. And this is all I got done. And I'm pretty sure this was, I think this is Prismacolor. Yeah, this is not my standard go-to Pitt pens. This was something I was doing with pencil, believe it or not. And I kind of like the way they turned out, the pumpkins. I just need to finish the rest of it. So, and you know what's funny? I see others coloring in Teresa Goodridge, particularly Corey from Colorfully Optimistic. She does such an amazing job with these Teresa Goodridge pages, and it always makes me want to color them, and then I don't. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not so much a pencil colorist. Particularly, I know I've mentioned it before, but I have trigger finger with my middle finger on my right hand. That's why if you see me try and make a fist, this one always sticks out. I can push it so it makes, you know, like a fist like the other one, but it'll lock and then it hurts to unlock it. So I try not to. And coloring with pencils tends to make that worse. Probably because I have a death grip on the pencils, and I shouldn't, but so yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe I've been avoiding this one because I didn't want to have to do all of this with pencil. But you know what? Corey, I know, does a lot of, like say Inktense or Graphitent work on these pages. Maybe I'll switch to Graphitent just Because I actually did do all the pumpkins. So it's like that one element is done. So it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be switching mediums, you know, in the middle of that one element. So maybe I might look at finishing that off with some kind of watercolor pencils, whether it be graphitint, or I do have a full set of the Museum Aquarelles that I bulked out with some super colors to fill in some missing colors. So I might work. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll think about it. But there's a fall whip. I just started this one, and I don't know if I'm going to get it finished for September. I mean, my intent is to, but I don't know if that will happen. I did do, so this is kind of a whip. I did do the pumpkins with pit pens, and I did the little aster flowers, and that's all I've gotten done so far. So this is in a French book, Marabout, the publisher, Guy Lotier, Jardin l'Anglaise, so English Gardens. This is a seasonal book, which you guys know I'm a sucker for seasonal books. So there's images in here from all 4 seasons in an English garden. So that might be one I continue to work on. And this one isn't so much a fall-themed whip, it's just a whip. I've talked about this before. I'm not a fan of how my Pitt pens and my Stettler pens are acting on this Kirby paper. So, you know, I've started this, but I haven't, I don't know, I do a little, I think I've done, maybe since the last time, I can't remember, I've maybe done a little bit more on the compass that's in the center. Yeah, I don't know, I find myself not wanting to finish it just because I'm fighting with the paper, basically, is what's happening. Now, this is the US Kirby paper, and I do have, I think, 1 or 2 UK versions, but I haven't tried pit pens on those yet. I'm wondering if maybe the paper in the UK versions I would have to fight with less. I don't know, but yeah. So those are some whips that I have. Make it done in September or over. This is really not so much a plans for September. It's kind of a plans video for basically all of the fall season. Fall, autumn, Halloween, Thanksgiving, right? All of those things. So I think, so we chose a page in that brand new Karen E. Meyers book. I think this is something else I'm hopefully planning on doing. This is a freebie by Melpomene Chetspaniagatu. And I do have a little teeny video that I posted, I think beginning of September maybe, where I gave a link to how you could get these. It was a link that was on her Instagram. And there were 2 pages actually, and one was more of a kind of a spring-summer one. This one is amazing, isn't it? And as far as I know, this isn't in any of her books. So this is a very autumn. You've got the pumpkins down here. You've got, you know, trees without leaves. The leaves are falling. You've got a unicorn, fox, wolf. You've got a lantern so you can play with light sources. You've got a stream, setting sun. I mean, there's just so much you could do here. That looks like a kingfisher. But this was, she said she had designed these 2 pages for another project that she ended up not needing them. And so she just thought she would offer them to the coloring community as freebies. Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome of her. So I taped this with some washi tape to, this is just one of those, it's like the disposable cutting boards. I get them in packages of, I don't know, it's like 25 or 30 or something. I don't dispose them, but I don't throw them away. But they're plastic and they're bendable and they're really lightweight. And when you've got, you know, images like this that are just a single page, if you want to have a nice crisp frame, I just tape them down to here. Then I can put all kinds of, you know, wet media on here. And because this is plastic, I know it's not going to bleed through, you know, onto my desk. So, yeah. So I definitely would like to work on that one, I think. Oh, you know what? I have one more whip. Oops. And this is not necessarily an autumn whip either, but I would like to get it done just because there are some autumn pages in here. that I don't know. This is spring, right? It's more, you know, you've got your spring blossoms here. I mean, I could leave this till next spring and finish it then. I was doing this, a lot of the background stuff, with the Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelles and the Supercolor pencils activated. And then some of the teeny tiny detail work, like the flowers, that was all Pitt pens and Staedtler pens. But we will see. But I would, and then I've got another one of those cutting boards in here for a, move this, might make things a bit easier. There is, if I remember, there's bedtime. Now, of course, bedtime, I mean, this is going to be winter, right? Because the bear is hibernating. Bear performs in a play. Snow day. Winter feast. Oh, that's got snow. Rainy day. Craft club. Collecting the mail. There's a campfire one. Art class. That looks, I mean, that's got a fallish feel to it, right? You've got the oak leaves fallen. Thought there was one. Autumn Party. There we go. Now, these, if you guys aren't aware, the very lovely Zoe, Addicted to Coloring, pointed out to the coloring community that if you got the storybooks, then you would have basically a reference image, because, you know, I think all of these images, there's 2 storybooks, but most of them, the images are in If You Go Down to the Woods Today. So if we look at Autumn Party, there it is. So autumn brings shorter days, goodbye party. So that's definitely one. I thought there was one, something about preparing for winter. Maybe not. And the trees, just looking, Autumn Party. Yeah, Bear's Bedtime, you can see that's winter. That's winter. Maybe not. Maybe there was just Autumn Party. I thought for sure there was something about preparing for winter. But, oh, sorry, it's hard to get this all on screen. I think we'll mark that one. So we'll mark that one in here. I bought this little package of tabs, and I'm really hoping they are not too sticky and they don't tear the paper. I'm not sure I trust the stickiness on. It was just off of Amazon. They were lovely autumn colors that came in this great big package. Bear helps with a play, summer picnic, the trees. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that was the only one. Bear's special friend. Bear's school. I mean, there's a school one, kind of back to school. Yeah, and then that one. Okay. But I think we'll mark Autumn Party, and we'll see if I abandon the whip until next spring and maybe work on the Autumn Party one. We'll see. But yeah, these, I think they're meant to go in like a planner, because they come on this plastic, and then it's got little holes, which I think you would stick on the rings in a planner. But it was a great big pack of them for like $10, and there was some kind of autumn colors in there. They're not plastic, or they're not paper, they're plastic. But I do plan on reusing them. I'm just a little concerned that they were nice autumn colors. Concerned that the the stickiness I don't want when I go to take them off. I don't want it to tear anything. This is a folder that I got off of Amazon. There was a pack of 3 of them. I just wanted somewhere to put images that I had printed out. So, and I know there's a lot of glare. There's Joanna Basford. Sorry, if I tilt it a bit, maybe the glare's not so bad. Joanna Basford Halloween page. I have colored that one before. Ooh, this is the one I wanted to pull out. Now I know I have a Rita Berman page already set up to go there, a fall one. But this was a Halloween one that she gave to the coloring community a couple of years ago. last year maybe? 2020, she's got 2210, 2021. And I never did color it, so I don't know. For Halloween maybe? I don't think, she only puts these up for a little while and then takes them down, so I don't know that you can get it anymore. I'm not sure. But, yeah. So we'll maybe put that one aside for Halloween. I know. And some of you might be shaking your head at this. Do you guys recognize that, where that's from? I am still looking for this book. This is from Orly Castex Sorcière. She has, I think, 8 images on her website. I think it's orlycastex.com. And I just printed them off just because I like looking at them. I know I didn't pay for them. I don't know if she meant for them to be, they're just JPEGs. I don't know if she meant for them to be accessed. You know, it doesn't say copyright or anything over top of them. I would never, never sell these. And I would never have done this if I could find the book to pay for it. But you can't. It's nowhere. I can't find used copies. I can't find any of it. So I printed off these few off her website. I love this one so much. And you know what? I will say, because it was probably not meant to be printed, the line quality is a little pixelated. I just love looking at them. I love this book. I wish I could find this book, but I can't. It's just nowhere. So there's a few of them in here. Like I say, there's a few from her. And I mean, any of these would be great, but I hesitate to color them. I don't feel quite right about having printed them, but like I say, I cannot find this book anywhere. This is all I have. I do have some pages from Zoe Sadler. Sorry, I know there's a glare there, but I'm just kind of going through. I don't think I will pull. Oh, it's a lab page. I have that other Zoe Katz page, so maybe we'll pass over those for now. This is a Halloween image from Zoe, and then it goes into some Christmas images here, Easter. I've got some other things in here, some freebies that came with things I had ordered, just some little cards and things. And then I did recently, and this was in, I think, my August haul, Edson Forest. I purchased some PDFs from Etsy. I can't even talk. Etsy. Edson Forest. Edson Forest from Etsy. And their liner, I mean, that's very fallish, is it not? And then I just sort of printed off, this was an image that was included with the Etsy listing that shows sort of her original artwork. See that there? So I think this was like Grandma's Kitchen or something like that. And then, yeah, I just sort of tucked these in here. Oh, that was the other Melpomene image. But there was some Christmas ones, some wintertime. I think this one was like preparing for winter, something like that. I mean, that's winter, fallish, right? You know, pumpkin. I think this was called Last Day of Summer or First Day of Autumn, something like that. That was a spring one. And then there's just some kind of cozy, you know, there's cozy kitchens. Do I want to pull those? Sorry, I know there's a stunning glare on there. You know, I think I will pull this one. And like I say, I may not end up coloring any of these. Here, we'll get rid of this glare. So that's the, oh, and I should say, when you get the image, I I think it's a she. She sends you the files and you get a black line version and a gray line version. So I just printed them both out just to see which one I prefer. I'm not sure. If you want your lines to not be so stark, then certainly the gray line version would be better. But if you like that crisp black line look in coloring books, this would be better. But I just printed them both off just because I wasn't sure. And then I just printed off just because I wanted her sample to be able to, I don't know whether I'd follow it exactly, but she's got such lovely artwork. It looks very, I'm going to say pencil. Looks like colored pencil to me, just because some of the speckliness here. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, we will see. So there's something else that I've chosen. All right. I have a completed page in this for September, right there. So I will try not to show you that one. But here is what I have discovered about this book. The paper in this book, I mean, aside from the fact that the images are fantastic, they're gorgeous. I didn't own the original Sagar Oxsegner, so this is my, I do have her Fairy Tales book, the other one that was soft cover, but I don't have the original Sagar Oxsegner. So I'm so happy that this was re-released. The paper in this book loves Pitt pens and Staedtler pigment pens for blending on the page. I mean, it loves them. The only other paper I've ever worked with where the blending, because you don't want the paper to be so, I don't know if smooth is the word, but I've tried coating a page with satin glazing liquid and then using Pitt pens. It allows them to blend too well, if that makes sense. Because then what happens is you go to drag out the darker color, it drags it all, and suddenly the area that you were trying to get, you know, sort of a gradient in is all one color. So there are, you know, certainly with papers that are less friendly towards working with Pitt pens and pigment pens for that sort of thing, you know, you can coat it with the satin glazing liquid, but then they blend too well. This paper blends perfectly. It's not, it's like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's not too blendy. It's not, you know, it doesn't fight the Pitt pens. It blends them perfectly. So even though I have a completed page in here for September, I don't know. I just would love to choose another page out of here. Oh, sorry. The only other paper that I've ever worked with that blended that nicely is the UK versions of the Melpomene Chatspani Gyautu books. Not the US, UK versions. So yeah, what image could we do for fall? I love these mice. I mean, that's a summertime picture because they're all in like swimming. That's a fall-ish feel to me. That's more Christmassy. That definitely has a fallish feel. You know what? I remember looking at that one before, and it definitely caught my eye. That's got a fallish feel too, but the one I just colored had a lantern and a no minute. So water. Not such a fan of coloring people, so I tend to skip over, like, you know, a page like that. I maybe one day I might color it, but it doesn't call to me right now. That to me just feels more wintry. There's eggs, so that's to me feeling more springish. That could be fallish. I mean, that could be fallish too. just feel like this to me feels like, I know it could be summery, but I mean, that's a sunflower, right? And sunflowers in the fall time, they start to droop down, right? When the petals start to fall off and the seeds start to really develop. That's what gives me kind of that early fall feel to this page. I think I'm going to mark this page. Just sticking them on just by the edge there, just because I don't want, there's still some sticky sticking out, but I just in case it rips the paper. I mean, I know there's a ton more images in here that we didn't even, and I did a full flip through this book on my channel, but yeah, I think that one's really early fall. Still got some flowers in there, but yeah. All right. Fairy tales and folklore. Also have a completed page in here for September, and this is a little buddy color that I did with the lovely Maya, colored by Maya, and the lovely Kay, coloring with Kay. So I won't show you that one, but I feel like this book is just really, and I think it was Maya's idea originally. It's like a full book whip where, you know, she says if she just feels like coloring one element on a page one day and that's it, then that's what she does. And that's what I've been kind of doing. So, I mean, I did this a while ago. I took a metallic acrylic brush pen and just did the water. And that's it. That's all I've done on that page. These were some completed pages that I did in August. It had a fallish feel. I tend to not worry quite so much in this book about, I don't know, I tend to focus more on color choices rather than shadows and highlights and that sort of thing. And I did a video about that recently. I feel like getting my eye for color in place first is going to help, I think, rather than, that feels very fallish, is going to help more than, you know, really trying to focus on, you know, the perfect shading, the perfect, oh, that feels fallish too. The perfect highlights. I want to get my eye for color in place first and choosing colors. And this book is really great. I tend to do a lot of flat coloring in here. Not all flat coloring, but... Sorry, I'm trying not to show you the finished page that I have. Yeah, those feel very... That feels very fallish, but I did just do a page with these little dudes on it. Got the fox. And then there was one with boots, right? This to me just feels fallish because there's mushrooms. I mean, mushrooms could be springtime too, but a fox has got those autumnal colors. I mean, there's so many others in here. Lanterns. That feels autumnal. And you know what? The Pitt pens and the Stettler pigment pens work quite well in here too. I did a page like that just in August. Oh yeah. I did a black background on that page. And that's it. That's as far as I got. That could be autumnal. I did that one, was that in August? July? I was feeling very, it's actually, you know, I'm going through these books and I'm choosing, you know, fall pictures and meanwhile, I think with the Humidex today, it's like 90 outside. It's 35 Celsius, which is ridiculous. Today is September 15th. I think I did the intro to this on September 14th. I'm hoping this video goes out on September 17th, which is actually the 1-year anniversary of my first video on this channel. I am not a heat person. I don't like the heat. I love fall. I love winter. So even I think July, August, I was looking for, I'm trying to pretend it's fall. I do have central air conditioning, which does help. But it's so hot outside. It's just, yeah. Lots of florals in here. I did that one a couple months ago. That fails autumnal. Everything that slows us down and forces patience, everything that sets us back into the slow circles of nature is a help. Gardening is an instrument of grace. We do like that. Sorry, I did tell you guys this video was going to be long and rambly, but you guys tell me you like those kinds of videos. Oh, I like that one. So that is what you were getting. So do I want the fox or that one? This isn't a double page spread. I don't know. This one doesn't really feel like it either, because you can see where the images on this page just sort of stop at the, and this one would be, I mean, you could certainly do a complementary color palette, you know, to sort of make it look like it's a double page spread. You could do all kinds of neat things in the middle here. Yeah, that might be, I haven't done a, I want to say crazy background. Like, me and my background ideas, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I haven't done one of those in a while, so we'll mark that. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. I've tried to choose books that are untouched. And I've been trying to do that all summer, so I thought, well, I'll continue that into the autumn. Not all the books that I chose, you know, to do pages in are untouched books, but there's certain books on my shelves that, quite frankly, scare me. They're so beautiful. And Petra's books, and I think it's Geshedova, her books, they're so beautiful. They are so incredibly beautiful. And she has 3 books that you can buy. And then she's got a set of greeting cards in a box and a set of prints on watercolor paper in a box. And I have them all. And I've never colored a single thing. Even the paper in the books is thick. It's not watercolor paper, but it's thick card. It's quite smooth. She does have, not for every image, but the occasional image, she'll have her colored artwork opposite the line work, but not for them all. And I mean, it's just, this one's called My Flowers, Coloring Pages for Nature and Flower Lovers. That's what that translates to. Those are ranunculus, I think. That's what those flowers are called. But I mean, this has a spring feel. You've got daffodils. That to me feels very summery. I don't know, she's got fruits. Those are poppies. Some strawberries there. More fruits. I just wanted to, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's more springish. I want to try, and I don't know what medium I would use. There's some tulips, irises. That's very fallish, and it doesn't have, so I could Part of me, oh my goodness. There's a part of me that likes having the reference image, but then there's a part of me that is terrified by it because you think to yourself, there's no way that I can color like that. And so then you think, well, if I color this, it's just going to look terrible next. But I know I shouldn't think that way. Aw. I was doing a little tiny bit of testing with pit pens there, I think. But I don't know that I have the courage to try that. I just would like to color. I mean, I know lots of folks are like, well, why do you have the books if you don't color in them? Because they make me happy. They just make me happy to look at. Would I use watercolor? If I remember correctly, I think the pit pens worked quite well on here. It's very smooth paper. It's very thick. It's got this beautiful watercolory. But then, I mean, I would definitely get a different look, right? This is very loose and very watercolory. And if I were to use pit pens or Staedtler pigment pens, I'm going to get a very different look. You know what? For my first foray in here, I think we will choose an image that doesn't have, you know, your matching colored image, just because I feel like maybe that would be less intimidating for me, because I don't have one to compete with. But some pears, figs maybe. It's a huge fig though, if that's a pear. Pumpkin? We've got some acorns, some oak leaves, some berries. I mean, this is very autumnal, so we shall see. We shall see if I get brave enough. But yeah, she's got some just stunning images, stunning books. So we'll see if I do something with that. This is the Dutch version of, this is Twilight Garden, right? And I bought this, I actually have the English version of Twilight Garden, which I think I have a colored page in. But the Dutch version is published by MUS. And a lovely viewer said that the paper in these MUS versions is much smoother and much nicer. So I want to give this a try, just to see how, yeah, I did this one in my English version, to see how the pit pens are going to work on here. Because I know I did struggle in the English version with using pit pens on here. They pilled the paper up somewhat. And so I just wanted to see if the Dutch version, is going to be better. I think there's a seasonal aspect to this, because I mean, that's like cherry blossoms. That feels more autumnal, but I mean, not necessarily. It still feels, that feels more autumnal. And that, yeah, those. That's more kind of summerish. Summerish there. Very fall gardenish. I love hedgehogs. We don't have them here in Canada, but I wish we did. It's probably too cold for them here. Yeah. I mean, there's, you know, I've actually been, for the longest while, I had like one Hannah Carlson book and like one or two Maria Trolla books. But I've been sort of finding I'm enjoying them more. This is one of her older books, so her style has definitely changed, I think. Not totally, but her line work, this is much more detailed, I think. There's some lupines there. I'm not sure what I want to color out of here. The black background ones appeal to me because I don't have to do background. Thought there was one in here, maybe I'm thinking of a different book, that has wheat, like sort of a bouquet with maybe I already went past it, with wheat in it. Wheat and poppies, but maybe that's a different. And I saw someone color, yeah, this looks like spring again. I saw someone color it wonderfully. Was it Erica at Elm Colors? Oh, I can't remember, but maybe it was a different book. It's very wallpaperish. I mean, the mice are cute. This would be simpler because there's just kind of small elements here and there. I do like that one with the squirrel, but I just recently did one with some of her roses. That's springish again. Sorry, guys. Taking a long time to decide, aren't I? So I'm thinking it's either going to be that one, or I do love a mandala. And this is very mandala-like. It's very similar, right? You've got just small images. I mean, I could do that one too. I'm gonna mark this one, just because. I don't know why. Just because. I keep choosing different colors of these little tabs. I don't know why. Like I say, I may not do these. I may choose something completely different. But I think, yeah. And I just want to see how this paper does with the Pitt pens and the Stettler pigment pens. Just, yeah, want to see. This, again, is an untouched book. So, I mean, technically the last one we looked at was an untouched book, but I did do some coloring in the English version I have of that book. But the Dutch version is untouched. This one is truly untouched. This is a brand new, well, brand new to me. This, I think, is the oldest Maria Trolla book that's, coloring book that's out there. And it's one-sided, which is, none of her other books are one-sided, which then opens up, you know, a whole possibility for alcohol markers, right? Because you've got, you don't have to worry about the image on the back side. This copy of my book smells really strongly of something. Honestly, it reminds me of being in the lab in, it's kind of making my throat tickle, in university. So it's like an organic chemistry smell. And I've tried to air this book out. It's not, I don't know if it's the paper. I don't know if it was stored somewhere weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like to color in it, but now that I'm flipping it, I don't know that I can. Because the smell is, let me know if any of you, any other of you, there's one that's not. Yeah, so it's, there's an image on the back side of that one. If anybody else has this book and it has this smell, I mean, it's, trust me, you'd notice it. It's not must, like it's not a musty smell. It is, I don't know, I can't, the only thing I can, that would be fun. The only thing I can think of is, it's a chemical-y smell. Like it reminds me of being in the lab, in an organic chemistry lab. It's strong. It's quite strong. Like I say, I don't know if it's the ink. I don't know if it's the glue. I don't know if it's the paper. I don't know. This was based on a storybook. It's Vivi Makes New Friends, or Vivi... It's the little character, the little girl. And you can see she's on most pages. and she just is making friends all over the place. I'd love to color in it, but the smell is quite, that's different. So it goes across the page and then cuts off. I don't know, the smell is making my throat tickle. I mean, there's certainly some, yeah, there's certainly some options in there, but we shall, I'm going to put that in a different pile just because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I do have this little postcard book, and you know, I never color postcards, and I don't know why. I don't have very many postcards. Well, no, I do have some. And it's I should, because they're smaller. This, by the way, is Kanoko Ugusa, Waltzes for the Seasons. I'm pretty sure you can get this on Amazon. I got it quite a while ago. And it's postcards, and it's seasonal. It does have some colored images here at the front. Cute spring. And then it's got actually different sizes of postcards. Normally you wouldn't think of, you know, this entire page as a postcard, but it's actually, I mean, I don't know if you'd mail it, but I guess you could. It's got a dust jacket on it too. So there's different sizes of postcards in here. Some of them are kind of full page, like that one, you can see. And then they're interspersed with, these ones are 2 page. So you can see where you've got, there's perforation in between there. And I think this starts out with spring and then goes into summer, if I remember correctly. And then at some point transitions into fall, I think. It still feels summery. Yeah, so here, I don't know, I guess you could call these fall or summer. But here we've definitely got, obviously, Halloween. And then this is Halloween too. It's got a little, I don't know if that's a little chipmunk dressed as a ghost. It's adorable. And then you've got these ones. You've got acorns and mushrooms. You've got the owl with leaves. This is a full page card again. Halloween. And you know, I'm not familiar enough with Kanoko's books to know if these are small images from the books or if these are separate, like different. I don't know. Once upon a time there lived a beautiful princess. You've got the cat. And then this is winter. And in the very back of the book, if I remember correctly, yeah, so there's Christmas and things like that. There's some other ones, which are, I mean, that's kind of florals, summerish. The very back of the book, see, that's autumnal again. There's little, so now the page is cut into 4. So there are 4 little postcards. That looks autumnal, but then I'd have to tear that up. And then instead of being postcards, I guess there may be gift tags, something along that line. But I haven't chosen any Halloween pages, have I? Would I be likely to do one of these? Thing is, I don't like tearing out. So you know what? I'm not going to tear them out just yet. Which I know in a postcard book it doesn't make any sense. I am going to have to tear that out. But I'm not going to tear it out just yet. I'm just going to put a little tab in here. to say, I might do this one, but maybe not. But then I can always tear it out later if I want. And speaking of postcards, I had torn this postcard out of an Erie postcard book. Last year before, maybe last year. And it, of course, is Halloween and didn't color it. So this has just been in, I have a little folder that I keep postcards in that I have torn out. Yeah, I mean, I might do that one too. We'll see. This is the only Clara Markova book I own. I am not super drawn to her artwork. Now, I also said that in the past about Hannah Carlson and Maria Trolla, and then I started being more drawn. This paper does weird things with my Pitt pens, so I don't know what I would use to color in here. But this is Fairy Celebrations, and if I remember correctly, this is kind of her seasonal book. I don't think she has another seasonal one, and it's kind of Christmas and winter here at the back. And then, yeah, this is sort of, we're getting into the fall images here, because you've got pumpkins. I don't know that I would start with a double page spread. I've never colored anything in here, so this is an untouched book. I'm not a fan of people. See, now this I might color. And I know maybe lots of you are looking at that going, that's really detailed, but I like really detailed. And I like cozy little scenes, like this is inside a tree and you've got the fire. Yeah. That's a cute one too. It's got a little bat. Wouldn't color that one. No. Maybe that one. I think that's probably why maybe I'm not really drawn to her work, is I don't enjoy coloring people. That's cute with the bugs. And so, yeah, there's a lot of images in here I just wouldn't be. That's cute. Wouldn't be drawn to. And now I think we're into kind of summer. So, bugs are cute. That one's cute. I still like that one. So I'm going to mark this. We'll see. We'll see if I decide to color in here or not. But yeah, my only Clara Markova. Like I say, I've been trying to choose books that are untouched, and this is definitely an untouched book. I know the tabs are sticking out ridiculously long, but I just don't know if those tabs are going to stick too much to the paper. I don't want to tear the paper. This is another untouched book. I figure anything from in here. Although, I mean, Tales from the Witch's Cottage, you look at the cover, I mean, this just screams Halloween. But I don't think, not everything in here is necessarily fallish. I mean, it's just a witch and her cat, I think. I do like all these tiny little elements. It's got some skulls and ghosts and things. Okay, I'm going to put my finger there. Like, yeah, this is more, I mean, just florals, and although it does have the funny little bat. Potions. I mean, I think I could kind of almost, you know. But see, to me, that feels more like summer. Even though you've got the ghosts, you know, up here. But you've got your different summer kind of plants and the well. I'm not a huge fan of coloring animals, but then I haven't had a lot of practice coloring. And animals are difficult. You can't really do an animal well with Pitt pens and the Stettler pigment pens, because I think to do an animal well, you need the indication of fur, right? And so you need pencils, sharp pencils. It's kind of like doing hair, I think. So that's usually harder pencils, because then they keep their point better. There's some pumpkins. That's just a whole page of ghosts. That would be kind of fun to just not really even care what color things were. Karen Zucchini Kitty did an amazing job on that one. I remember from last year, the year before. And that one. I think she did like a blue fire. It was cool. I wish I had the imagination of some of you folks out there. I just don't. I tend to color things, you know, to me fire's red and orange, so that's what I would color it. I need to, could be my math science brain. I don't have a terribly imaginative brain, and I can't picture, and I think I mentioned this before too, I can't look at line work and then picture the end result in my head after I've colored it to say, oh, you know, I would definitely do this and this. My brain doesn't work that way. So often when I'm starting coloring pages, I have no idea how they're going to look. None. That's very cute. Not necessarily fallish, but very cute. Oceans, chickens. I mean, that, just because there's glassware. I could see myself, what was the other one I said? Oh, right, this one. I mean, I don't know how fallish it is. I could make it kind of fallish. Sunflowers. That looks like lavender to me. Which would be cool. It's got some bats on the corners. Oh, right. I did start something in here. I forgot about that. So I wanted to see how my black, this one here, the Zig Art and Graphic Twin marker. I use this for a lot of, it makes really non-streaky black backgrounds on some paper, but not all. And it's a water-based dye ink marker, which is, I mean, most markers like this, you know, whether Tombos or what have you, they're streaky. Water-based markers just are. But these Zig Art and Graphic ones have like a foam rubber nib, not a fiber nib, and I think that's maybe, could be a difference in the formulation of the ink too. It feels like it has a fair amount of glycerin in it, like it sits on top of the page a bit longer. But I wanted to see what it did on this paper. So I did a black background on the nameplate page, and it did go through. I don't know, you can still see it a bit on the flowers. So because of that, I then took a purple, just a metallic acrylic brush marker, like one of the Artex ones, and then did like an opaque background on this side just to cover up some of that black shadowing. It was pretty heavy shadowing too, so I don't know that I would do it on another page in here unless I just didn't care about the backside. But I could do one of those too. I'm gonna mark this one though. This is the one that calls to me. It's a double page spread. I don't know. Like I say, I had, you know, there's so many books that I'm marking here. Oh my gosh, we're over an hour. There's no way that I'll get to all of these images. So this is Hannah Carlson's Seasons, another seasonal book. I did this one, Bright Summer Nights. I did this on the summer solstice. So I thought, well, why don't I see if I can do the autumn winds page on the autumn equinox. So spring and summer, or pardon me, spring and fall have equinoxes, and summer and winter have solstices. But it's basically the first day of, you know, first day of summer is the summer solstice. The first day of fall is the fall equinox, or the autumn equinox. This year, it's usually either the 21st, 22nd, somewhere in there, of September. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to mark that one. I don't know what I will do with it. This one, if I remember correctly, so I did the black background in here with that same Zig Art and Graphic marker, and nothing. Did not ghost through. Tiniest bit of ghosting I can see right there. Maybe a wee bit right there. And actually, I see some red coming through, but I don't think that's from the marker. I think that's from this. think I was using the Zig Clean color brush pens to do this, if I remember. And so they might have just been a bit juicy, but yeah, very little bleed through. Now, I don't know that I would do a black background on here as well. That one said summer nights, right? So it was night, and I had fun with that. I don't know. This says autumn winds. I feel like maybe me trying to be creative and think ahead. You know that gorgeous blue that you get with autumn skies in like October? I've heard it described in novels that I've read as pellucid blue of an October sky. I feel like that would be a cool color for the background. And then autumnal leaves and you know, reds and oranges and yellows. But I'll have to figure out some way to do that color, that pellucid blue in the background there. P-L-U-C-I-D. I think I'm saying that right. So we shall see. So that's Hannah Carl's and Seasons. I think that one. Now, I mean, there's also... So in this book, these are like the starting pages to the different seasons. So there's Autumn Winds, and then it goes through, and then Fallen Stars, that's where the winter one. So all of these pages in here, they're all autumn pages as well. You've got Halloween. All right, you've got other... that would be a fun one. But I thought, well, I will, because I started doing, like I say, I did the sort of the first page of the summer on the first day of summer. I will try and do maybe the autumn page, the first autumn page on the first day of autumn. Would I do other pages after that? Maybe, but maybe not this year. I don't know. We shall have to see. So I wanted to mark that one. I did pull another Maria Trolla book, only because, actually I should have had this at the beginning with my whips, because I do have this one as a whip, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the background. I had originally talked about why I put this background down. I mean, this is a fall page, right? You've got your pumpkin, and I think last fall I was looking at these books and I was eating cheesies, which in Canada, they're like really hard, crunchy Cheetos, but they're not spicy. Like they don't, you know, and I haven't had a Cheeto in forever. They don't have like a taco. They're just cheese. Well, they're like a corn snack but the cheese flavoring or coloring or whatever they put on there is like, I swear it's indelible. So I had gotten some of the orange on the page. I could not get it off. So I covered it. And I used acrylic. I think I used some of the Tuliart, the medium tip pens. So they're the ones with kind of the big round fibery nib. But it's pretty streaky. I don't know if the streakiness shows up on camera, but it's pretty streaky. And I'm trying to think of a way to cover up some of that. I may end up getting, you know, I have a Deco Art acrylic paint, craft paint in a little bottle, like those 2-ounce bottles, and it's called, I think it's called Winter Blue or something like that, and it's very close to this color. I may put a coat of that over top to try and get rid of the streakiness, and then, I don't know, do something. I sort of put some green down at the bottom here to sort of delineate like ground, but in fall you wouldn't have that color green, so again, looking for that pellucid blue. So yeah, I'm actually going to put the tab on. I put this in just because I didn't want this to stick to the next page. I mean, it's dry. I don't think it would. But I'm going to put the tab on this paper just because I'm afraid that if I put the tab on here, when I go to lift it, it'll pull off some of the acrylic paint and then make things worse. But yeah, so that's why I pulled this one out. Did I color another page in this one? I can't remember. This is an untouched book. I mean, I obviously did that background. I think I did something in here, didn't I? There's a lovely autumn page. So, I mean, there's certainly other autumn choices in here. Maybe this is an untouched book. Except for that one page where I had to cover the cheesy. Okay, interesting. I could have sworn I had something else in here. Huh. I did do the butterfly at the front. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a whip too, I guess. Sorry, I had to take another little break there and just get up and walk around for a bit. This is an awfully long video. Another book that I love. I love looking through this book. Have I colored anything in here? I've started something. It's not a fall page. It's more spring, I think. That's it. That's as far as I've gotten. But again, you've got, and I love Marjolaine Beston. Love, 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 love her artwork. So in this book, you've got her artwork on the left and then a line art version on the right. And I mean, there are some stunning fall pages in here. But I just always feel like, you know, whatever I was trying something there apparently. Whatever I color is not going to be, and hers I think are watercolor, and this paper is very thin. And I think if you used watercolor here, I mean, you'd kind of have to work back to front in the book if you wanted to avoid, you know, then damaging the artwork here. Yeah. I was using, on the one that I started here, I think that's mostly polychromos pencils. I did on the gray of the boots, I did a tiny little bit of Pitt pen. I just wanted to see if it went through. And I don't think a single layer of Pitt pen would go through. I don't know that you could blend on the paper. Was I doing that a little bit back here? I did it on this last page because then, oh yeah, it did go right through. Yeah, just because I knew on this last page I didn't have to worry about this. So this is probably a pencil-only book, which, again, with my hand and you know, my trigger finger, I kind of have been shying away from, you know, doing whole pages in pencil. I just love looking through here. I have her calendar on my desk. I have her wall calendar hung up on my wall. It's just... And she does nature, and she does it so beautifully. I tried tiny little bits of Pitt pen there, just to see if they went through. And I think, like I say, I think even black, a single layer would be okay. But I don't think I could do my... Ugh. Gorgeous. I don't think I could do my... unless I treated this first. You know, if I treated it with... But if I treat it with satin glazing liquid, I think it's going to be too... It's still not going to blend the way I want it to. Yeah. So, I mean, there's two options, I think, for autumn pages. It could be autumny. I mean, it's got a strawberry, but it looks like the leaves are starting to turn. There's autumn. The line work on the opposite side is very loose. So... not a lot of, although, yeah, like here you've got fritillaria that have almost like the little checkerboard pattern. That pattern isn't here, so you'd have to do a little bit of, not necessarily drawing, but it takes, and the very, well, yeah, you just have to, I think, be a really good artist to... I mean, if you want yours to look like hers, right? I know Karen, Zucchini Kitty, has done a couple, I think, in this book. Does a phenomenal job. I love this one for winter with the mouse. Christmas. That's very autumnal. So they're mixed up in here. You can't, you know, it's not like you've got one section that's autumn and one that's spring. It's just kind of, they're all mixed up. That. Again, scared. I'm scared. I did start that one with polychromos, and I think I did a not too bad job on the flowers. Again, it doesn't have to match, but that's what I was trying to do. Again, you're trying to do, this is watercolor. I'm trying to do that with pencil, so I think I did not a bad job. That I think is too, that's detailed. I would need to get some more courage before I tried that. And I think work some more on this paper. This might be, you know what, I'm gonna mark this one. Because I think once I got sort of the color combinations down for those apples, which I realize they're different, but I think that page would go quicker. Whereas the one that was in the back here, there was so many different, no, I'll never find it again. There's so many different colors, right? Because there was all those different kinds of autumn. I'll never find it again, will I? You're probably like, Connie, it doesn't matter, there it is. There would be so many different color choices that I would have to make. Yeah, I think maybe that one's a better one to start with. But we'll see. We'll see if I get to it. You know, I have so many books pulled here, guys. You wanted a long, chatty video. You got one. So this is Small World Coloring. It's a top book, so it's German. Ursula Schwab. Tiny, tiny details, which I love. And this is, again, is another untouched book of mine. That's Winter. Winter again. Looks like Winter at the Zoo. It's like a medieval thing. Flying kites. I think this looks very autumny. I mean, you've got kind of the wind blowing everything everywhere. It's a park. I mean, that could be autumny, but I think I would be more likely, well, it's got blowing leaves though. So maybe one of those two. It's got like spaceships. There you go, space timber. Underwater. Rooftop worlds, I think. This is end of summer. So you've got harvesting. I'm not, like I say, a fan of coloring people, but these are very little people. So I think I could handle that a bit more. You know what? I'm gonna got my thumb in all kinds of places here, my fingers. Dinosaurs. Vikings. Unicorns. Train station. That's summer. I mean, so many hugely detailed pages. And I do love detail, it just takes a while, that's all. I don't know how my pit pens are going to do on here. We shall have to see. Flea market. Kangaroos. The Riviera. Kind of a gardeny, looks like a summery scene. Again, very medieval. Dragons and griffins and things. Canal. Wildlife. Circus. Yeah, camping. I mean, that could be, well, it's a farmyard scene. some information at the front. So I'm thinking end of summer, or this national park one, or this one. Why don't we mark the end of summer one? We'll see. We'll see. So this is Small World Coloring, Ursula Schwab. Another one by Ursula Schwab, just because I have had this and I haven't done anything with it. This is, it's almost like a diary, right? And it's not for any specific year. So I mean, it's like the Joanna Basford has her calendars, right, that she puts out every year, her coloring calendars, but those are specific to a year. This just has, you know, so many pages for January, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's all in German, Monday through Sunday. So I mean, you could use this for any year, but I guess once you wrote in the numbers, you know, you'd be set for that year. But it does have on the facing page where you would be writing your notes for your calendar, it's got seasonal pictures. So then, you know, January has winterish pictures, right? And then you get into February, still some winterish pictures. There's one for Valentine's Day. March and April, now you're getting into more. There's your melting snowman in March. He looks very sad. Getting into May. So I stuck the bookmark. It comes with a little ribbon bookmark. At the beginning, this is August, September. So now you've got fall pictures. And I thought they're little, right? This is not a big book. It's a hardcover book, but it's not a big book. I don't know how this paper is going to react to my Pitt pens, though. It feels rougher. Feels like maybe a colored pencil kind of paper. We'll have to see. So we've got October. I do like that one with the little mice. I'm doing this halfway through September, though. Will I get to a page that says September in September? I don't know. I like that October one. The little kind of beads, droplets of dew on the spider web. I like that. And that one. The puppies flying kites. Halloween. And then it goes into November. Blustery outside. That would be nice, you know, closer to the end of fall, kind of getting into winter. Mind you, here it'd probably be snow instead of rain outside. Rain. And then December, then you get sort of the kind of getting into Christmassy images there. So I might mark, I'm going to mark 2 of them in here. Will I get to both of them? Probably not, but one never knows. So I'm going to mark this October one, and I'm also going to mark this one for maybe like end of November, kind of going into December. We'll see. So that is Meyers. Sorry, pronunciation's probably not great. Excuse me, Ursula Schwab. Lulu Mayo. I'm still not sure what I think about Lulu Mayo. I know I mentioned in past, I have 5 of her books. I'm just not sure what to do with the line work. So this is one of the ones that I have that's untouched. And I think I did mention previously, you know, if you look at the coloring that's done on the covers of her books, it's virtually all flat coloring. You know, there's not a lot of worry about shading or anything else. So I was sort of approaching her books the same way. Here I tried a little bit of Pit pens do work okay in here. It's smooth paper. And I thought this one has a lot of... So this is A Million Little Monsters, Spooktacular Cuties to Color. This is the UK version. I think I got this from Blackwell's. The UK version does have different paper. But I thought, well, if any of them are going to have fall, Halloween images to color, I think there are other books maybe that she has that also have fall, autumn, Halloween images. But I mean, this one for sure. And there's lots of cute ones in here. Even ones that aren't, you know, these ones don't scream fall or Halloween, but if there's still ghosts on them and... Is this the one with... I can't remember. That's cute. And it's framed. You know what I mean? Like, I could do something with the background here, but I wouldn't have to. Move my finger in there. Oh, I do like one with a postage stamp outline. I don't know why, I just do. So that would be cute too. The artwork is certainly cute. I just am not, not sure what to do with it sometimes. It's almost Christmassy. And I've seen, there's so many amazing versions of it out there. Sometimes that intimidates me too, because I think, well, that's a way that I would do it as well as that person. But I shouldn't think that way. Oh, I do like a postage stamp, but no, I'm gonna do this one. It just seems simpler. So mark that one. See if that happens. I know I keep saying that, but that's pretty much all of these. It's entirely possible that we're just choosing all these for no purpose, and I'll just color something else entirely. Just so you know. This is my only Karolina Kubikowska book. Carolina? Again, her artwork, and she signed it. I ordered it from, where did I order this from? I can't remember. Etsy? I don't remember. Stunning visual artwork. Very, like, here's something that she's colored. So it's very watercolory and loose, and I always feel like I want control. So I would be scared to do this, but I shouldn't. And I would love... She had a postcard set that I think is now out of stock. And I kind of wanted that one too, but I haven't done anything in this book, so it was kind of like, well, Connie, you know, you need to... Like, that just screams autumn. You need to do something in this book if you're going to get more. Some of it's very dark. And you've got a girl, she's got the eye in her forehead. So it's very dark black line work. There's even printing kind of on the, this is printed to look like it's almost watercolor paper texture, but I mean, it's not. I don't even know what Pitt pens would do in here. Or if I'd even want to use Pitt pens. Sorry, the squeaking is the... Sorry, it's probably annoying. But it is an untouched book, and I would like to just see what works in here. That feels very autumnal. And that does too. And that. and those. The line work is very dark. Sorry, I'm not even finishing my sentences, am I? Don't know. I don't know what pit pens would do. I don't know how they would look. I feel like that's Christmassy. I feel like this one, and I don't know, yeah, it is a double page spread, isn't it? Because the feathers kind of cross over. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? We will mark it, and we will see. I can always try. I mean, I don't want to try media on a page that I like. There's a good coloring tip for you. Never try out a medium in a book on like your favorite page in the book. That never goes well. So I might try something on a different page in here. But this feels very autumnal to me. You've got the berries, you've got a spider web, apples. We'll see. We'll see what I think. But I mean, stunning artwork. I just have never done anything in here. This is The Other Side of the Dream, Karolina Kubikowska. This is a relatively recent book. It's not an untouched book. I did actually start. So this is Color Yeah, Tiny Petite. And it's along the same lines as the Small Victories, right? You've got images, so you've got smaller images on a bigger page. And I started this little mouse. But this is more, well, I mean, he's gardening. It could be like, you know, bringing in the harvest. Here we've got bringing in the harvest down here. But I do know that there's some seasonal pages here at the back. There's some Christmas ones. Winter. Yeah. So there are... That feels more summer. Bugs. That feels more summer too. I wonder... You know what? I've never actually done the research, and I should have. I feel like there's different illustrators. I don't think this is all the same illustrator, because it feels like there's different styles in here. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it feels like. Like, to me, this does not look like the same illustrator as that. Sorry. Put it this way to see. It's a very tall book. You know, you look at that, and then you look at those. Does it say? It's just Color Yeah. I think interesting. Color and Community is a small French creative company. It doesn't really say, and then, yeah, then the images start. But I feel like it's different illustrators. So some books, there's Easter, some books, some images call to me more than others. I really like those mice. Some of them are much more open. Like these ones feel much more, well, and you saw, like even, right, that's much more open in terms of larger spaces than that. And I actually prefer the smaller spaces. So I could keep working on this mouse page, or I could go to the, let's mark both. Just to remind me that I do have a whip in here. It's not a very big whip, but it's a whip. And then we will mark the Halloween page. Even if you just did one on here, you know, you wouldn't have to do all four. That's kind of the point to small victories too, right? You don't have to do all of the little images on page. You can work on them, you know, one at a time. I really love this book. Sonia Cavallini, Jardin Fleur, so Gardens in Flower, again Marabou. And it's another one of those books where you've got the artist's original work here and then a line art version. And I could not remember. I know I did one picture. I did the very last one because I wasn't sure what would happen with this paper. And it looks to me like nothing came through. And I was using Pitt pens. There's watercolor on here. Didn't even actually warp the paper that much. And then I stuck a washi tape purple border on here just because the watercolor got a little messy around the edges. There's some acrylic paint pen on there. There's some Jelly Roll Glaze pens on there. So the paper can take quite a bit. And then there's the original artwork. But I could not remember if there was... feels sort of autumnal. I can't remember if there was fall pictures in here. I know that's a beautiful winter one. I mean, it kind of feels fall too. You've got pumpkins in the greenhouse and carrots, but you've definitely got snow outside. That feels late summer. Corn is ripe, so we could gain summerish. That's Jardin. So like kitchen garden, I think. And then some of these tend to be all kind of tropical. And then you've got kind of more conservatories and fancy houses there. But none of those really strike me as autumnal. I'm just looking at these, basically. Flower shop, parks and gardens. The cats are hilarious. That's a lot of cats. And then there's little Bengal cats. And they're always in trouble. They're always doing very bad things. That one's got winter outside. It feels very autumnal to me. See, the cat's in the fishbowl. Of course, if you put the fishbowl on the floor, really, you're just asking for it. That feels very autumnal. What am I marking here? Like that one though. Okay, I think that one or that one. It feels very summery. Chickens. No, I like this one. I mean, this could be summer too, right? You've got the pond and the little dock. You do have flowers and stuff here, but I don't know, sunflowers to me, I don't know where they grow or when they grow where you are, but they tend to be almost a fall kind of a thing here, early fall, but they take a fairly long time to ripen. So, I mean, I've got sunflowers outside, it's now middle of September, and they're just, you know, they're starting to droop, so they're not, you know, up like that, but even you've got your sweet corn. Sweet corn here would not be ready until, oh my goodness, September for sure. So we'll mark that one. We'll see. We'll see what I do. But that's Sonia Cavallini, Jardin en Fleur. I have never colored in this, so this is another untouched book, and I know it's seasonal. So this is Furballs, right? Diane Dufour, I think. And it starts off with, I think it's spring? Or does it start off with, no, it looks like it starts off with autumn. Because that all looks autumny to me. And then, yeah, it then goes into winter. So this beginning section, I mean, this is all autumn. It's a smaller book. I'm not sure why I haven't colored in it. not sure what the paper would do with pit pens. I don't think I've ever tried them in here. Not sure. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I can feel a paper and I can think, you know, that'll work or that won't work. The corners of this got a little ding too. Maybe that's partly why I keep avoiding it. So sometimes I can feel a paper and think, yeah, that'll work with pit pens or that won't. But not always. I do like that one. That's cute. The foxes are cute too. Hedgehogs with the leaves and the acorns. More pumpkins. Sometimes you get tired of coloring pumpkins though, don't you? That little mouse is adorable. I'm not sure if that's snow in the air. It's definitely Halloweenish. Halloween. Again, I always tend to shy away from animals because animals don't look good with pit pens. You need to pull out your pencils. I mean, I've done animals with pit pens, but kind of need to pull out your pencils, so. The cats and the leaves, and then that's winter. So what would I choose out of here? I do like that one with the mouse. And it's squirrel or chipmunk curled up around the mushrooms. I do like the hedgehogs too. And I do like that one with the mice. Let's go with this one. I know I choose a lot of outdoor scenes just because that's a lot of my coloring books. I tend to choose landscapes, but I might have chosen, I can't honestly by this point. We're almost at 2 hours here, people. In fact, I think with the introduction we probably are at 2 hours. I've still got a lot of more books to go through, but yeah, sometimes it's nice to choose not an outdoor scene. Angela Harding, this is the UK version of her book, and I have the US version too, and I did that image in the US version. I just wanted to see if the paper in the UK and the US editions were different, because oftentimes they are. I don't think they are though for this one. So essentially now I have two versions of this book, but it's a very different type of artwork, and it's very watercolory. The line work is very heavy, and then she's got her original artworks, thumbnails here at the back, and I like using this to choose my pages because that gives me an idea, you know, which ones did she mean to be more autumnal, because there's an example of her line work for you to color. So we start here. We've got little thumbnails. I mean, there's tulips and forget-me-nots. I mean, that, and lambs. I mean, to me, that feels more, you know, spring. Horses and flowers. Pheasant could be kind of autumnal. The fox. Jay and oak tree. The Christmas curlew. So then blackbirds and berries. Again, these feel, you know, wintry. The red deer. And you wouldn't have to follow her color choices, which she did. I tend to. The common, you've got some flowers there. Wild silence. I love her color palettes. They're very muted. At least they look to be on here. That's winter again. Holly. Rose Cottage. Me says summer, salt path, fishing otter, kingfisher and squirrel. I mean, you've got summer foxes. Here you've got October owl. That's gorgeous. Can you see that one? I think we might mark that one off. Highland Deer, I mean, that's very autumnal too. Early nesters, to me that says spring. That looks springish. Winter squirrel. Yeah, so let's mark off page 77, October owl. So there we go. It gives you a little tiny bit of it here, but if I want the full color image, then I can, and these are all perforated, I could actually tear those pages out of the back, and then I could use that to, put this sticky over here. I could use that to choose my palette here if I wanted. It's a very different style of artwork, but I was using the Zig Clean Color pens, so watercolor pens, and I might still, although they do bleed through, which means I would get some ghosting here, which as long as I'm okay with that would be okay. Slowly getting through this pile. This is another relatively new to me book, uncolored. It's very folk art. It's called Scandia by Zena Shaw. I got this second hand, and it is signed by the author, although not to me. Dear Jenny, happy coloring, Zena. So somebody had gotten this signed by the author and then decided they didn't want it, I guess. There's a Dala horse. So yeah, very, very folk art. I would probably, it's very Zendoodly. I would probably maybe even do just flat coloring in here, and then maybe add details in with like gel pens or something. It just feels like that kind of a book to me. I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, it's not realistic, right? There's oak leaves. I just thought, yeah, these untouched books I have, I need to start coloring in them. Fruits, more dollar horses. I always associate dollar horses, they're Swedish. I always associate them with Christmas. I could be wrong on that. I feel like that one could be fallish. So this reminds me a little of Garden Enchantments, right? The same, although those, I mean, it's not the, that's fallish to me, but kind of that similar kind of style. Do love trees, but it looks more summery. I think this one. It is glue and stitch bound, so it's a good quality book. I think we will mark off that one. And it's single-sided, so you could be doing work with, I could be doing, you know, basing with alcohol markers, which would, you know, speed it up too. But yeah, Scandia, Zena Shaw. To choose this. This whole cover just, I mean, that's autumn, right? I mean, it's just beautiful. But I am somewhat disappointed. It does say that the paper for the coloring section in here is 200 GSM watercolor paper. But it seems to me, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's sized, because I was doing, where was it? This very first page, what was I using? Was it Pitt pens? And they didn't, I mean, Pitt pens on watercolor paper should be doing, you know, they should be blending fine, but they blended oddly on here. Maybe? I don't know. So I know a lot of people have worked with watercolor in here. I don't know that I would. And they actually went through, which again, if it's watercolor paper, they shouldn't. So this might be watercolor paper, but I just don't know if it's sized watercolor paper, right? Because the sizing shouldn't be allowing, not that it matters, it's single-sided. I don't know. I mean, that's that. I don't know. That feels very autumnal to me, right? You've got the smoke from the cottage. Mind you, that could almost be winter. You've got holly, pheasants. I would like to do a whole picture in here before I, you know, judge the paper, because I don't really know. There's holly and mistletoe. I don't know what the paper is. It says 200 GSM watercolor paper, but I don't know if that means it's sized or not. That feels like it could be an autumn kind of wreath. That's little autumn bits of things. Woodland flowers. Why don't we mark the bits of things? Just because, like I say, I am a teacher. Autumn is my busy time, and I can't, I've chosen so many pages, but bits of things I might be able to do, you know, just the berries or just the basket of mushrooms. And at least then I can do maybe a whole thing with, whether it be the Zig Clean Color brush pens or my Pitt pens, just to see what I think about this paper. Sorry, I had this stuff in there marking because I had done that, that other little test before, but I'll move that. Drommenvanger. That cover just screams autumn, doesn't it? This is MUS publisher, so hopefully the paper is good. So detailed. I mean, I love detailed. Just, I don't know how much time I have. Again, not really a fan of coloring people, but the people in here I think are quite, you know, like, you've got a person, but it's not a great big face. I don't like the big faces, and I know Hannah Carlson does them quite a bit. Maria Trolla to some extent. It's just not something I gravitate towards coloring. But I did think there probably could be something in here that we could make. Kind of autumn fallish. I mean that with grapes. A lot of these are double page spreads though, aren't they? Or are they all? I guess not all of them. Don't have the other one. Okay, that screams fall, but that is a double page spread with a lot of details. I don't know. I don't have the other one. I just have this one because there are two books. Tomislav has two books, right? Spookjabos, is that how you say it? Again, I try and, you know, sometimes it doesn't look like it with my hauls, but I do try and say to myself, you know, Connie, if you have a book by an author or an illustrator and you've never ever done anything in it, why do you need another one? And I understand sometimes it's about collecting, but that feels autumnal to me. A lot of double page spreads in here though. I don't know if I want to tackle that. I mean, I guess I could just do part of it as long as I wrote down what I used. It's a nice winter one. Underwater doesn't say fall to me. That says fall to me. And this, Yep. Okay. I'm going to stick a tab. I don't know which one of these, if either one, but I'm definitely going to stick a tab on this page, and we'll see. I kind of like this one better. I feel like this one, there's like a background I'd have to do something with, and this one it's nicely framed in. Yeah, but that would at least give me a page in here, and it's not a double page spread, right? For as much as I love Melpomene and the UK paper, I don't think I've done any in Circle of Life. I've done pages in her other books, but not Circle of Life. So I thought, well, I should pick one out of here. Just to, yeah. I mean, I think that I have no reason to think that the paper in here is different than the other UK editions. And the Pitt pens work brilliantly on those. So I'm just looking through to see if there's anything fallish that catches my eye. She's got a new one coming out February 2025. What's it called? Dream Voyage. I have it on pre-order. Spiders. Spiders freak me out, though. I know they shouldn't, but they do. That feels very fallish. You've got pumpkins down there. So I'll keep my finger tucked in there. It's a dream catcher. That feels very fallish. Oh, okay. It's got a fox, but it doesn't feel fallish to me. I mean, the books would be... And I do have that Melpomene... Actually, I have two of them already, don't I? Because I have her Halloween one pulled from a couple of years ago, and that fall one that I already taped to the cutting board as a backing. That feels very fallish. That feels very fallish. Oh, if only I had the time to just color all the time. Darn day jobs. Bees. I mean, I know that there's other gorgeous full images in her other books. This is just one of her books that I'd never colored in. So I thought, well, I think I should definitely have a go in here. Okay, so I've got those two and that one. I like this one, although that's fairly similar to this one, isn't it? I feel like I'm doing the same thing twice. No, well, yeah, sort of. All right, you know what? We'll stick a tab on these images, and we'll decide later if I'm going to do either one. So there we go. There's some more Melpomene. And you know, I've done some in this. I just love Rita Berman. I've always liked that mouse one. Pitt pens don't work super well on this paper. That's the only drawback. I can get them to work, but I have to fight with them quite a bit. And sometimes that's less fun, you know? So I've done some in here before. You guys have all seen Rita Berman. I like this wreath as a it's like a bridge between fall and winter, because you've got the fall, you know, you've got pine cones and you've got some leaves, but then she's got snowflakes in here as well. I've always liked this page. I'm going to mark that one as a bridge between the seasons. I know, I think I marked another page as a bridge between the seasons too, but yeah, there's so many lovely pages in here that could be done. And I know her, particularly her Walk Through Europe book, kind of has some fallish, kind of, I think, Scandinavian pages in there. That's the cover. I've always wanted to do that one too. All right, but I think that's a good Rita Berman one, that wreath at the end. Speaking of wreaths, I have done so in Small Victories, Joanna Basford has 4 wreath pages in here. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And you know what? I meant to do the spring and summer ones this spring and summer, and it did not happen. I did the winter one last year, but I'd like to mark off the fall one here. I've been working a fair amount in here recently. You probably maybe have seen my whole saga with the backgrounds that never ended, because I started doing one and there's this one back here where I did the one background and then I had to do the other background to fix it, because, you know, then I had to do another background to fix that, and then I had to do another background to fix that. So I ended up doing 4 pages in a row. Just trying to fix background oopses. So, but you know what? I do love Joanna Basford, and I love the Small Victories. You know, you can do a little, you can do a lot. I do have some black backgrounds colored in here. That black Zig Art and Graphic pen, there was a fair amount of ghosting, so I don't know that I would use it again in here. I mean, that was part of the reason back here why I ended up having to do that page, was because I used the black Zig Art and Graphic to do a black background here. Significant black ghosting here, so I had to use an acrylic marker to cover that up. But I did some more work with those metallic neo colors, that kind of mirror effect. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do to try and do the wreath page in here. I've never colored anything in Secret Garden, and this is the 10th anniversary edition, UK. And I know it's an older book of hers. I know she's got a new one coming out, Magical World, in October, and I know that there are some Halloween, well, not Halloween, but fallish pages that she specifically put in that book. But I feel like this book, and also Enchanted Forest, is that what it's called? There's just so many pages, like, I mean, that's just fall, right? There's a lot of pages in here that could be fall. It's not, they're not labeled as fall, but I mean, it could be. Anything foresty. Yeah. And again, she had a different, well, I mean, there's a scarecrow, right? She had a different, I think her style has definitely evolved. Kind of a different style back then. I've done a couple pages in my miniature version of this. That's very fallish. You've got the pumpkins. That's a big double page spread, though. But yeah, I have done some in my miniature version. I just wanted to maybe try the big version. Do I want to do that one? Or that one? I actually like this one better. There's no stinking way that I'd get all this done. Oh, you can dream, right? Never hurts to dream. I'll stick a tab on there. That's Joanna Basford, Secret Garden, the 10th anniversary edition. This is a new book that I got just recently. Very bold line work. This, I was inspired by the very lovely Colored by Maya over her channel there. This was tougher to get, although I did luck out. I found a third-party seller on Amazon And it's shipped to me from Venezuela, I think. So there are other books by this Malakara and Gale that I think are easier to find. Sorry, glare there. But I wanted this one, which was Coloreanding Life. This was the one that I wanted. Again, untouched book. I just thought I'd flip through with you guys. This is so long. I don't even... Is anybody even still here with me? Are ya? You can let me know in the comments if you are. Hopefully you can just put this on and you get that... I like that. It seems fallish. Just put this on and you can be coloring and you can look up every now and again. It's kind of what I like to do. It's kind of what I really like the longer videos on YouTube too. It's just like a coloring companion. I don't... Shorter videos, unless you make a playlist, you kind of have to keep stopping your coloring and you know, finding a new video. These longer videos, you can just kind of let them play, can't you? I could make that fallish. You could just, because that looks like an oak leaf, I don't know, but I don't know, you get like a cup of, could be hot chocolate. That's a good one to mark. This is Flora Waycott, and I love Flora Waycott. I've done some work in her, what is the other one? Winter Wonderland book. And then I also got a Peter Popper Press book of hers recently. But I've never colored in this one. And I know this is Seasons. It's kind of mixed up though. Like, the fall pages aren't necessarily all together, if I remember correctly. Maybe they are. This front part is like kind of spring, summer. And this was, I don't know if part of the proceeds to this went towards the RSPB, which is the Royal Society for Protection of Birds. So this is UK. Flora is a UK artist, UK-based artist, I think. Poppies, strawberries, blackberries. This feels more like we're getting into autumn, so there's the geese migrating. But then see, that feels more summerish again. Hedgehog. Okay, I like that page. Just some leaves. That feels more summerish again. But then you've got some, that's definitely, you got your spider webs there. That's the cover. Could be autumnish. Autumnish there. That's wintry because you've got the snow. But then that's thistles, so that's, I mean, is that wintry? Maybe. And geese, but that doesn't... Yeah, so it's a little... That's definitely... I did an owl of hers in that Peter Popper Press book. I think that was in my finished pages for August. And that was fun. There's bats. There's autumny. That's Christmassy. But then this is autumny again. So yeah, it kind of... Then winter, right? A little flip-flopping back and forth, but oh, I do like that. I wish we had hedgehogs. They're adorable. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're absolute garden pests. I have no idea. But they're very cute. So we'll mark the hedgehog page. There we go. Flora Waycott, Nature, a Seasonal Coloring Book. I have not done a page in this book. Isn't that terrible? Lolita was so kind to send this to me. And I did a flip through on my channel. I just have not done a page. And I really should. That's autumny, right? You've got your pumpkins and your falling leaves. Like that one. Winsomeness of a Rabbit, it's called. Island Grizzly Bear. I feel like that could be autumny too. Wolves I always associate with winter. Deer's with skull antlers. Tigers. That's autumny, right? Fox. I think, because I just looked through, well, there's a snail and mushrooms. That's autumny. Is that a word? Autumny? Fallish? Autumn-ish? I feel like I'm making up words now. It's a long video. I'm getting tired. Seahorses, crabs. Flamingos, swans. That I would love to do. This Charmed by a Cardinal. I mean, that's just Christmassy. I mean, you have your reds, and she's got poinsettias here. But yeah. So we've got squirrel, fox, rabbit. Keep coming back to the fox. I don't know why. Yep, we're going to mark the fox one. And we shall see. I really should get a page done in here, though. She was so kind to send this book to me, and yeah, I just have been coloring other things. But it's got lovely paper. So we'll see what this does with... Did I try my Pitt pens in here? I feel like I did. Oh yeah, I did. They were okay. They were a little weird, though. So I might have to do some... I'm not sure what I'll do. Yeah. This is a new one to me as well. Entangled Forest. I just love forest books. I love books. And these entangled books, you know what? I don't tend to worry about shading. I don't worry about practice color choices, really. I tend to use my Stabilo fine liners and the Stabilo 68 pens, which are, they're all water-based. The Stabilo 68 are just a little bit bigger than the Stabilo 88, which are the fine liners. But I mean, so many, I mean, I know there's a lot of detail in here. Angela Porter, you know, does those little fine details, but I mean, this is autumn. You've got the acorns and the leaves. This is, I mean, you've got more acorns there. What did I stick in here? Oh, right, this was owls and acorns and stars and trees. I did have something tucked in behind here because I thought maybe this might be one I would do. Yeah, let's mark this one. But I mean, that's anything foresty here. I mean, I live rurally and I'm surrounded by forest. There's a hedgehog with the acorns. I could do that one too. Nope, we'll leave it the one. But yeah, the forest just, to me, it comes alive in the autumn. I mean, the colors and the... I know technically it comes alive in the spring, but I'm not a... I love spring. I love autumn and winter. Summer here is just so buggy. This is Jen Racine. Time to Hygge? Is that... Hopefully I'm saying that right. This was actually something I started. That's more of a winter Christmas one. This is on Amazon paper, and I really love... Yeah, this was just alcohol marker. Not a lot of shading or anything. I did that a couple years ago, but I think there's doubles in here. Yeah, because there's that page again. But I just thought, you know, there's probably some autumnish scenes in here, because Hygge, I think it says on the back, it's the Danish word for acknowledging a feeling or a moment of cozy contentment and well-being. So, coziness, right? I mean, that's more summery. Well, maybe not. I mean, you've got your winter boots here. And that's Hanukkah, isn't it? Hanukkah lantern? That feels autumny to me. Then could just be because of the fox. Dollar horse. Here's your vegetables from your garden. Some fruits. Tea. Cat. Sweaters. That's a hilarious sweater. Home Sweet Home. Oh, we did that one spring. There's another dollar horse. Game tea and cozy things. Socks. coffee. I think though, I think that fox one. I think. And this is, it's on an embroidery hoop, so it could be, I mean, you could color it as though it's been embroidered. Not realistic. I mean, again, this is very folk art, right, kind of thing. You could make these leaves out here fall colored if you wanted. Or you could just do the fox fall colored and just leave the leaves, you know, yellow-green for contrast. I think that's a cute one. Still going. I know. This is one of my favorite R.J. Hampson books. This is an older one, Forest Song. So there are 2 copies of the images in here, but I don't think... This was before he started doing his second set with a difference. Although maybe he's now re-released this with a second set as a difference. I don't know. This is printed in Bolton, Ontario. So it's the fairly good paper and the print quality is fairly good. I just saw... There's a fall one. It's one of the first ones in here, I think. That, if I remember correctly, was one of the ones that I was looking at. So I think Mr. Fogarty, which of course he now has his own series of books. Heart of May, Phoenix Tree, and the Fox again. I know. This is more... There's spring. Not so much... I mean, we're choosing pages. We're choosing more pages than I could ever hope to color. So it's more just a look through my collection. Just sitting with me and chatting, really. So let's mark the fall page here. The squirrels. Almost more of a wreath page again, but that's okay. We did have to pull Matchstick Mouse. Now I do have all the Matchstick Mouse. I have the fall one, and I have this Halloween one. Sorry, I do have papers in there marking things that I'd thought about before. But I thought, I don't... Oh yeah, I did color in here, so I did do that one. That might be the only one, though. Maybe? I had done a couple in the fall one, so I thought, I think I've only done that one in the Halloween. So I thought, well, let's choose a Halloween image. And they're just so cute and small, and, you know, you can worry about a background outside the circle if you want, but you don't have to. Here's something that's specifically Halloween. I was doing a little testing there. Just because this is the Halloween. I mean, there's lots of pages in here that are, you know, fallish, but this is the Halloween book. That reminds me of the Charlie Brown, right? Great Pumpkin, sitting in the pumpkin patch. I like this one. You've got the jack-o'-lanterns down here. These are maybe little leaves. She's decorated as ghosts. You've got her little worm friend and her little spider friend. Although I don't see Cat Beetle. Was Cat Beetle in this one? Or was Cat Beetle a later edition? I don't know if Cat Beetle was in this one. I don't see Cat Beetle. No, I just see the spider. So maybe she hadn't gotten Cat Beetle yet. But I do like that one. I love Matchstick Mouse. Not as big a fan of the Annie Day books, but then I don't... Annie Day is more like a person, whereas Matchstick Mouse is not like a person, and I'm just less likely to color people, so I think probably that's why. This is an older book of mine, and I have not colored anything in here. I'm not sure this is my style anymore. I don't know if it ever was, but this is Edwina McNamee, Autumn Dreamlings. There are 2 copies of the images in here. The first set is with a white backing, and the second set is with a black backing. Now, this did not make the pages curl, so I don't know. This is, again, manufactured in Bolton, Ontario. I feel like... No, maybe not. The print quality in here is a little... It almost looks like the I don't know. It's like it's smeary, but it's not, if that makes sense. I started doing this with maybe some acrylic. Just wanted to see what it would do on this page, or on this paper. I think that's the only thing I've done. Oh, I was trying to cover black lines, I think, maybe. I don't know. I pulled this one. Not sure. I like that one. There are lots of cute images in here. Are they the same? Maybe they're not the same. I thought they were the same images. Just these ones had black. Maybe I am incorrect. Oh no. So it's the same images. They're not in the same order though. So there's the first copy of that image, and there's a second copy. So you've got your night sky is basically colored in for you. Interesting. Yeah, so the second set of images, you've got the background in black, and then the backing of the pages is in black. See, that one was... I know I saw it. You know what, maybe I will mark this one with the black background, and we'll see. Like I say, I'm not sure this is my style anymore, but... If it's in my collection, I should probably decide, even though I did a little bit of mucking around there, but I should decide and then destash it if it's not my thing, right? Eerie Entangled Art. This is another Angela Porter book, but this is specifically eerie. So yeah, you've got Halloweenish. This was actually a page that I had marked, and I think I might stick with that one. You know, there's potions, there's a haunted house, there's some kind of Day of the Dead, I think, images in here. Sugar skulls. So yeah, it's Angela Porter. It's entangled, right? So it's zendoodly. It's quite detailed, but specifically kind of eerie images. So almost, it's like a Halloween book, but I don't think it's necessarily called that. Well, it does say, welcome to a world of unique patterns. 31 densely interwoven designs are perfect for coloring on Halloween and Day of the Dead. So there you go. There you go. But this was one that I had kind of marked with a page here. I might have even marked this last year, but I think I'll stick with that one. You've got your potion bottles and your pumpkins and little ghosties there. I like that one. Stick a marker on there. Excellent. I'm not terribly happy with that one. I don't think I did a very good job. I think the color choices were off. I backed a lot of it with alcohol marker. Yeah, I don't know. I think the windows are too bright, maybe. And this is too limey green. There's glitter gel pen. So it's alcohol marker and glitter gel pen. You can see that. Not a lot of shading or anything else. Just kind of, and that's kind of how I approach these books, right? I think that's the only one I've done in here. I think. There's theirs. I mean, theirs is a lot brighter. Did I kind of? No, I didn't. Yeah. Huh. We shall see. But that's, I mean, that's a fun one. If you like Angela Porter, but you're looking for, you know, seasonal kind of specific Halloween Day of the Dead, that's a fun one to have. It's older. It's not brand new. 2018. Okay, closer to the bottom of the pile. Not too many. I have Layla Dooley's Walk in the Woods. I've never done anything in here. I did some testing with Pitt pens, and if I remember correctly, it did not go well. They kind of did a funny speckly thing. Or maybe that was testing with Zig Clean color pens. You know, I can't even remember. There's the species list. This might give us they're just little thumbnails rather than flipping through the whole thing. We might be able to pinpoint some fallish images, but I do want to try. Like I say, it's an untouched book. Stinking Iris. Maybe that's not the best. Rose hips. Alder. Ooh, that would be a detailed page. There's that one. That one? Nope. There we've got mushroomy ones. You know, I mean, that's autumny. I mean, it's walk through the woods, right? So you've got, what did I have marked in here? Not full pages. There's probably tons of pages in here that I could color. And I think she does go kind of through the seasons, because didn't I just see something about autumn here? Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. I shall smile when wreaths of snow blossom where the rose should grow. Emily Bronte. I mean, that's beautiful. So detailed. Again, so detailed. Kind of like the idea of these little guys, right? You've got, still some fall in here, and I think maybe it gets into winter. Might not be in order. You know, it's been so long since I looked at this book. Isn't that terrible? Yeah, it does start in spring. Finish in the crisp air of wintertime with its welcome decorations of bright berries and pine cones. So I'm liking this idea of small, you know. Maybe I'll do just one, maybe more than that, but they're very detailed, and I've not done any work in here. I don't know. Like I say, I can't remember if this was Pitt pens or Zig Clean color I was testing. I mean, it didn't go a little tiny bit of ghosting. Yeah, I'll have to do some more testing just to, again, I had something marked there. Oh, right, because that was for that. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what kind of media works best in here. But I think that small page with the, or the page with the small images on it, that's a good choice. Now we're getting into, and this is kind of where I'm going to finish here, some of the Korean and Japanese books that I have. This is a seasonal book. This says that it's printed on watercolor paper, but I don't know that it is. I don't know that it's sized. I was doing some testing in here. There. With some watercolor, I think. maybe some zig pens, and I think they worked okay. It's thick paper. It's textured like watercolor paper. I just don't know if it is actual watercolor paper with, you know, sizing on it. But here's the autumn section. So again, we've got our the original image from the artist here, and then a line work version. I'm going to put it this way, just be easier for me to flip. I know most of the images are this way, but that would be neat. These are watercolor, so I think probably the best bet is either my Zig Clean color pens or just straight up watercolor. I'm just not very good with watercolor, and I know the only way to get good is to practice, or to get better is to practice. Lots of urban scenes, which is cool. That's a cool one with the grasses. Oh, I do like that. And that. I love trees. Love trees. And grasses are neat too, but... And then winter. Alright, so... I love the oranges and the yellows. That is nice though. Here's kind of earlier fall, so you've still got some green in the trees. And I think this is more, you know, kind of late-ish fall. A little bit of green still left in there. I like this one though. I like that one. The background, it gives you nothing to go by, so that, I mean, that's going to be a challenge. I don't know. I just feel like I say, I need to work in these untouched books. So if anybody, I haven't really been giving a lot of ISBNs, just because a lot of the books I've been showing they're fairly easy to find, but there's the ISBN for that one. This one came from probably Aladdin, if I had to guess. I think that's where I got this from, or maybe Amazon Japan. I don't know if you'd be able to find this on Amazon US, but there's one to try in there with some watercolor maybe. Your Rory Mouse. I have this. I have never colored in it because it's so adorably cute. I don't know. I just haven't. That's silly, but I have it. And this is seasonal. So it goes spring, and then we're into summer. And then we're into autumn. And I really should. Have I tried? Yeah, I did try a little bit of Pitt pen back here. It didn't do the best. This paper is, I think, maybe it's more suited to pencil. It's not super smooth, so ooh, that would be a big one. I like that one. I think I have a thing about wreaths. That wouldn't be cute too with the little images. Notice I'm gravitating towards that just because, yeah, I just don't have a lot of time. That's cute with the pumpkins. I mean, they're all cute. I don't know how you decide. I think you just go for it. Just pick a page and go for it. Oh, Halloween. And then winter. I'm going to mark this one just because the rabbit made out of an acorn is adorable. I don't know. I don't know if I will, I don't know what I will get to. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Just looking through my collection, sitting with me, drinking some tea or coffee maybe, some hot chocolate. So that's your Rory Mouse. We've got an autumn page picked out in there. This, one of my favorite coloring book illustrators, Green Ivy, although she labels her illustrations as he. And again, this is seasonal. So we've got spring, summer, and here's autumn. And I cracked the spine on this one. I think I did it live when I was looking through books, and it really cracked. And now the book's kind of coming apart. So we'll have to be careful with it. you've got the artist's original images here, line work here, but the line work is very delicately colored to match the original image, which might cause a problem if you're wanting to do your own thing. Like here you've got the flowers are pink. The line work for the flowers is just a hint of pink. The line work on the railway ties is just barely brown, right? So it's mimicking the colors. Like I say, if you want to do your own thing, that could be, that could be, I like that one. Do like that one. That could be tough. I like that one. Not specifically autumn, but I mean, you're into the cat's got glasses. She's always got her cat friend. Listening to something on the phonograph. Nice mug of tea or hot chocolate, quilt. Sharing her earbud with the cat. Going on a trip somewhere. In the music store. Eating at the bus stop. I like that one. Cat's got a little overcoat on. More books. That would have been me as a kid, surrounded by stacks of books. Leaf faces or leaf masks. With grandma, looks like. Some stitching on a quilt. I think this is a lot about her spending time with her grandparents. That one's very Halloweenish with the pumpkins. And then winter. So, that one, that one. I feel like this one. Don't know why, but I do. This is very thick paper. Well, she's got hardcover versions. I don't know if she has a hardcover version of this. This is 4 Seasons. She's got another one called Nostalgia that comes in a paperback like this and also a hardcover. And the paperback paper is thinner than the hardcover paper. And I think the hardcover book, one of them is more meant for watercolor and one is more meant for pencils. And I think this one, the paperback ones are meant to use pencil. Whereas the hardcover version, it's just got thicker paper and it's more like watercolorish paper, I think. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I end up using in here. I have never done an April page. This is the Forest Girls coloring book. Again, you've got the artist's work on the left, and then your line work version on the right. This one definitely looks fallish. You've got kind of fallish. I can crack the spine on this one. Kind of daydreams up top here. And you've got leaves and stuff. Feels very winterish or very fallish. It's got fallish color palette. I don't know about this paper. I bought this from Amazon Japan. Those are ginkgo leaves. But I don't know about the paper. And I know this is coming out in the US, or at least in an English version, November of 2024, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what the paper is like. This is called Season of Blooming. So this is broken into Day Spent at Home, Girl in the Forest. I get the feeling this paper is not going to be very friendly to pip pens. It just feels like it won't. I could be wrong. I don't know what other people use for, I mean, that, to me, that background is watercolor, right? I don't know how else you would get that effect. Maybe soft pastels, you know, like pan pastels. That might work on here. I don't know. I don't know what watercolor would do on here. That's very fallish. No, I kind of like that one. It's sort of end of summer, fallish. You've got some fall. Maybe a lot of it could be done with pan pastels. And then that would save on, you know, you could just use your pencils or what have you for the smaller details. I mean, the color palettes are beautiful. I mean, that would be a fun background to try and recreate, wouldn't it? I say fun, scary. I don't know. I don't know if I could pull that off. I don't, oh, that's fallish too. I don't mind, I think that's New Year's, isn't it? Scarier backgrounds like that, or more kind of intense backgrounds like that, if I have something to go from. I would never in a billion years think of that on my own. There's kind of a wintry Christmas. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of choices in here. I don't know. Do I? Do I? Let's mark it. Let's mark it. See, we'll see if I can recreate that with pan pastels, because I did buy those new sets. But ooh, we'll see. What's the worst that could happen? Says Connie, who has massively screwed up pages in the past, but don't know till you try. 3 more. Really hope you guys like long videos. This is Desert Fox, and this is a seasonal book. So I think we've got winter at the back. I don't know. Yeah, there's winter. So this is the autumn section. You've got the colored version here, and then the line art version here. His little cactus friend cracks me up. I don't know if he has a name. I haven't translated this. Maybe the cactus friend has a name, but he's adorable. All of these are adorable. Chestnuts, right? Those look like persimmons. Traveling. God. A bike helmet that's like a dragon. Sorry. I'm tired. This is really... Oh, right. Because this was the cutest Halloween page I'd ever seen. Oh, do I want to start with that in this book, though? You never want to start with the cutest page you've ever seen, because if things go wrong, then you're just super sad. You know what? Let's, that's a cute one, too. I don't know what... The paper's very smooth. I might get away with pit pens. I don't think I've even tried in here. They're having soup and bread. Got a shaft of light there. Got some interesting kind of light play to try and... I don't know. Try and copy. Let's mark it. We'll see what happens. I love soup. I love soup in the... Well, I love soup any time of year, but soup in the fall, soup in the winter. Those are soup seasons. This is a new-ish book. It's called 4 Seasons. It is a Japanese book that I got from, I think, Amazon Japan, just because when you're ordering from Amazon Japan, well, that's interesting. It's like rice paper in there. you get to a certain amount for shipping is pricey. You know, I'm not going to deny it. But once you get sort of it's about $20 or $25. But once you get to that shipping amount, you can sort of add, you know, other books, other things, and it kind of doesn't really increase it after that. Or if it does, it's not by very much. So ordering one book or two books from Amazon Japan kind of doesn't make any sense for the shipping. So I tend to kind of throw other books on there. And this was one of the ones that I did. It was a seasonal book. I'm a sucker for seasonal books. I don't know what I think about the paper, though. Again, it doesn't feel like it would be very happy with Pitt pens. So this is where autumn starts. So, sucker for seasonal books. I mean, that would take forever, but it would be a good page to try and test because it's small elements. I like that one though. It's small elements again. It's mushrooms and grapes. Do you like these? What do they call them? Matryoshka? Matryoshka dolls? The wooden dolls, like the nesting dolls. Those are all very busy. Some more small elements. Well, see, that's holly. I would have put that in the winter, but I don't know. It was just, like I say, it was a seasonal book. I threw it on my order. I haven't colored in it. I don't think I've even tested anything in it. Yeah, I just do not. It doesn't feel like it would be very happy with Pitt pens. I could be wrong. Not that I need to use Pitt pens all the time, but they are my go-to. I do really love using them for coloring. The Stettler pens and the Pitt pens. I'm going to mark this one. One more book, folks. One more. Now I'm really curious. Is anyone still here? Because once I get this over and said and done and edited, we're looking at 3 hours. If you are still here after the 3-hour point, you deserve a medal, man. So I can give you the ISBN for this one if you want. Again, came from... Oh, there's a glare. Sorry. I don't know how to get rid of it, though. It's very shiny. Can you see that? There's the ISBN. Came from Amazon Japan. 4 Seasons. The last book. Yeah, if you're still here after the 3-hour point, you just deserve a medal. Romantic Country. This is the first book. I know lots of folks. Lucy is doing a full book color along, I think, on her channel membership. And I think some other folks are doing some full book color alongs. But have I done anything? I think I did the very first, did that. This was 2 years ago, maybe? And Pitt pens worked okay on here. I think my blending technique is better now, but I think they worked okay. So this is sort of some Pitt pens, some pencil, just kind of a mixture of things there. But that was all I ever did. And I don't think I've done anything in the other books either. But I thought, unless I'm mistaken, oh, I did a little bit right there. I think that was Zig Clean Color Pens I was testing. There is, if I remember correctly, there's like a fall page and then a Halloween page, I think. Just trying to remember. Beautiful Forests and Lakes. That one to me says more winter because you've got the skeletal trees and just the mounds just makes me think of snow. Camping in the summertime, fishing. I mean, that could be fallish. This could be fallish. Again, these remind me more of summer. Summer. Here you've got your jack-o'-lantern. So I mean, this could be, and that's very similar to what I was doing on the front page, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's got like bits and pieces of it. So there's the same. So this feels autumny to me, right? You've got your pumpkins and all your sort of produce from your garden. I did that on the front page, right? There's a flower shop. This, you've got your pumpkins down here in your kitchen. They're baking pumpkin bread. And then, if I remember rightly, or maybe I don't, there's an Easter egg collection. Yeah, I knew there was a Halloween page in here somewhere. So, I'm going to mark both these pages. Again, I realize I've marked just there's Christmas, a ridiculous amount of pages. There might even be more. I mean, you could do that one too, right? There's some pumpkins there. But it just gives me, well, it gave me a chance to look through some of my books, discover some pages that I had forgotten about, sit with you, chat, and gives me some ideas for autumn, fall, Halloween coloring. I may very well not color any of these. Maybe I will just choose completely different pages and color completely different pages. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I hope you like this video. Oh, it's just almost, I'm watching the timer here as I'm recording. Once I add the intro in, this is over 3 hours. I hope you've enjoyed this long, rambling look through my books with me. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, consider liking the video, subscribing, leaving me a comment, hitting the notification bell, letting a friend know that you found a channel you like. They might like it too. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. I hope everybody is looking forward to their coloring, whether you're in the northern hemisphere like me and you're going into the fall season, or you're in the southern hemisphere, you're going into your spring there. I hope you're finding some pages that tickle your fancy and that inspire you to get creative. Until next time, folks, take care. Bye-bye.